Thank God I've been to the gym this week, guys. Seriously, because this thing is a 13-pound PCP rifle. Hi guys, this is RACKNLOAD and this is the new Hatsan Hercules. And trust me, you need to be Herculean to carry this thing about. Or if you're a hunter, you need a Hercules to airdrop this thing into wherever it is you're shooting, because the thing weighs a ton. But oh my God, it is a real good rifle. Real good. I've had some serious fun with this thing. Still not finished testing it yet, but I just had to get this thing on the table and show you guys. So first of all then, let's run some specs and I'll just show you, well, tell you some of the specs of this thing. Now, the overall length of this thing is 1,230 millimeters or 48.4 inches, so it's a bit of a cannon, this thing is, to say the least. Barrel length is 585 millimeters or 23 inches. Maximum cylinder fill pressure is 250 bar. Now you'll notice on this thing there are two 500cc bottles on this thing. Each can take 250 bar. So shot count on the 12 foot-pound version, I've not got a confirmed count on that yet, but I will put that in the details of the video. But going by Hatsan's muzzle velocity chart, a .22 caliber one of these, this is .22 caliber, their one running at 49 foot-pounds will do well over 100 shots per fill. So I'm expecting a 12 foot-pound one to do well over 200 shots per fill, but I'll confirm that in the details, guys. But seriously, what a bit of kit. But anyway, back to the specs of this thing. Now the weight, like I said, 5.9 kilos or 13 pounds. That is a heavyweight, and that is unscoped. Notice I've put a small scope on this thing. Two reasons, well, three reasons actually. All my bigger scopes are in use at the minute. So this is pretty much the only one I had left. Bit of a test scope to sort of throw on there. And it's a smaller one to keep the weight down. In fact, what is it? I'll show you what it is. 3 to 9 times 45. Just a cheapo scope, nothing special. And another reason I've put that on, which I'll show you shortly. But anyway, let's jump in with this review. Now, a lot to talk about here, so get comfortable, get a cup of tea, you know, sit down and enjoy, and I'll tell you everything I can about this. Anything I miss, as ever, I'll chuck in the video, in the video details. So let's have a look at this thing then in more detail. First of all, let's talk about the magazines. Now, 2.2 version, this is the magazine you get. 14 shot, all metal. I'm quite impressed with these. Easy to load, nice and simple. Piece of cake, absolute win as far as the magazines go. Dead easy to load. I'll show you how you actually load them in the rifle in a second. You are supplied with two as well. The 177 version is 17 shot. So 17 shot in the 177 version, 14 shot in the 2.2 version. These rifles, by the way, go all the way up to .45 caliber. Okay, probably not available here in the UK, but if you're in the States or some parts of Europe, you're going to get one of these in pretty much, well, you know, anything you want. 177, 2.2, 25, 357, 30 cal, all the way up to 45. You know, this thing in 45 caliber or 357, you're in like the pig hunting territory with one of these things. The amount of foot-pounds it's going to chuck out with a bit of a beast of an air bullet like a 357. You know, you're going to be knocking down some fairly hefty game with that. But anyway, let's jump in with this review. Let's take it from the top, take it from the stock end as ever. Bear with me guys, I'm going to be out of breath doing this one because I've got to manhandle this thing and it weighs a flipping ton. So, taking it from the stock end or the recoil pad end or butt pad end, whatever you want to call it, adjustable butt pad, fairly hard rubber there, easy to adjust via that Allen screw there, and then you can adjust for length of pull as well, only slightly via these two screws here, and you've got a sling swivel there, which is good. Obviously the other one is at that end. There we go, we'll get to that in a minute. But obviously you can see this just goes over the body bottle, the 500cc body bottle that is in the rear of the rifle. That is pretty much your stock, well, your rear stock. And then moving along to the pistol grip. I love the pistol grip on this thing, very comfortable. It's all tough ABS polymer, pretty sort of hefty really. It's not really rubberized to the touch, you know, it's fairly sort of, well, polymer, plastic. The trigger guard sort of all flows in as well, and you've got access points there to sort of make your adjustments on your trigger. And while we talk about the trigger, we may as well sort of jump in with the trigger. 2-stage adjustable trigger, metal blade. I'll give that a pull shortly and we'll see what it's doing straight out of the box. Felt fairly heavy, I haven't messed with it. Straight out of the box review, you know how I do these things. I'm getting out of breath guys already. Moving along the rest of the stock though, it pretty much just sort of flows. Obviously you've got all these cutouts for all your cock and lever, safety catch and whatnot. And then you've got a bit of sort of checker in there on the fore end, same as the pistol grip. Okay, you've got Hatsan's logo down the bottom of the pistol grip. And then I'm gonna have to turn it around, knocking everything over. And then you've got like the actual fore end here, which obviously incorporates your second 500cc buddy bottle. This thing is packing some serious reserves of air, if you call it that. But the fore end, yeah, pretty much shaped for the bottle, obviously to incorporate the bottle. And then you've got plastic sort of picatinny rail going on there, and like I showed you earlier, your rubber sling swivel, which is pretty cool. But I think what gives this thing the weight, let me put it down, is obviously those two 500cc 250 bar bottles. That is what makes this thing weigh quite a bit. To be fair, not bad as far as balance is concerned. Pretty good. Now on the range, I had it on my test range, 30 yards using Acupel pellets. Not bad. I think it was the trigger pull that was letting me down. And I have listened to my excuses, guys. Let me throw out my excuses. Trigger pull was a little heavy. Didn't adjust it using it straight out of the box. Brand new rifle probably needs running in a little bit. No, you're not buying that, are you? These actually look like 177 holes, but they're not. They are 22 Acupel. I haven't written on this target. Yeah, a little bit all over the place. I put 4 in there for some reason, must have just lost count. That's actually a 3-shot group there. Not bad at all. I did do a few targets, but as you can see at the start of the video, it was getting a little bit wet, it was raining, but it's not bad at all. Obviously, throw a better scope on, you know, you're going to get quite a better, well, tighter groups than what I've got, because That is a bit of a crap scope I've got on here, to be fair. But yeah, not the best target to show you, but it's a real target, if you know what I mean, guys. You know, it's one that I've done. No sort of BS with that target. It is what it is. Now, anyway, rest of the rifle. So, where do we begin? Well, we already have begun, haven't we? Like I said, two 500cc bottles. You know, it's giving you absolutely loads and loads of air, especially here in the UK. If you're running these things under 12 foot-pounds, you know, you're going to have more than enough shots, especially if you're hunting. Now, talking about hunting, would you take a 13-pound plus rifle? Don't forget you're going to have to throw a scope on it, so that's going to add to the weight. 13-pound plus rifle out into the field? Don't know. I don't know whether I would. All right, fair enough. If you're sitting in a hide, then yeah, you'll be fine with that. You know, just sitting there. But lugging this thing around, it's gonna wear you out after a bit, definitely. Even with a sling on, this thing is, you know, it's a bit of a beast. Now, to load the Hercules, pretty easy. You know, kind of standard now with these side lever PCPs. Pretty much open the side lever all the way to cock it. I might have to just sort of hold this a little bit on camera, get it right. And then your magazine basically slots in there, and it is a bit of a tight fit. I'll just get it lined up. Push that in like so, and then close that to lock your magazine in. And then it's just a matter of closing the lever, and then every shot then is cock that, and it will obviously cycle the magazine. I'll just dry fire this in a safe direction. Oh, got a safety catch on. So then cock it simply like that, and that indexes the magazine, and you're away. Now, while I have got that cocked, let's just give it a trigger pull, see what it's doing. Now, this is straight out of the box, guys. I've not touched this trigger, so, and I thought it was a little bit heavy, but like I said, it can be adjusted. Let's give it a pull. 7 pounds, 0.9, nearly 8 pounds. That is quite a heavy trigger. Let's give it another one just for argument's sake. Because sometimes my trigger pull gauge has a moment. Yeah, well, let's just sort of say 7 pounds. Yeah, quite a heavy trigger, but like I said, it's two-stage, it's adjustable, so you can tweak that thing. But I like to just run these things as they are, straight out the box. So, but not bad to be fair. It does feel a nice trigger. You know, I can't really grumble with the trigger, although it was a little bit heavy for when I was using it. You know, the feel of it is nice and crisp. So moving along from the trigger, in fact, while I've got it like this, you'll notice as well, this is the filler area here. Let's just bring it up, and that stays closed to keep obviously crap out of there. But notice how this moves when you cock it. Not sure why. I wonder if it's, well, it must be that you have to have it cocked like that to obviously fill the rifle up. Kind of weird. I just noticed that. I thought, why is it doing that? Pretty strange. But when you fire it, it closes up. Curious one, that is. Interesting. Obviously there's got to be a reason for it, but you know, it's pretty obvious. You've got to have this. You've got to have it cocked to fill it up. And then once you've fired all your shots off, obviously, you know, you'll sort of be in that position. You'll have to bring the cocking lever all the way back, and it's just a case of pushing that forward, and then out comes your magazine. Now, Hatsan do say you can't double feed this. I managed to, so there's enough said about that. But it is really, really nice. This thing is just a beast. And the cocking lever, although it's a little bit wobbly, does feel pretty tough when you cock this thing. You know, you have to give it quite a hefty pull. It is a little bit loose. It'd be nice, Hatsan, and I think I said this about the Hatsan Gladius. Sort that out, Hatsan. Come on, tighten things up a little bit so it's sort of a little bit more refined. That'd be nice. And then just showing you sort of in there, obviously there's your pellet probe there, and then this is your magazine sort of lock there. Just pretty self-explanatory. Let's close it up. And your safety catch. Guys, this thing is heavy. I need to just zoom in rather than lift this thing up to the camera. Safety catch, really nice, quite impressed with that. It obviously does exactly what it says on the tin, but it's nice and positive, so I do like the safety catch. And then moving along to the barrel, fully shrouded barrel, and it's got Hatsan's QuietEnergy shroud basically, so it's shrouded. It's pretty much sort of silenced already, although you can, if you like, put your own mod on there if you want, or at least I think you can. That's pretty tight. I'm not going to undo that on camera. You won't really need it. I mean, noise wise, not a lot of noise out the muzzle end. The most noise pretty much is the mechanics of the rifle that you hear, more than the actual sort of shot. Obviously I know it is a PCP air rifle, you're not going to get like a muzzle crack, but you know, most of the noise is from the actual workings of the rifle itself. Now moving to the scope rail, and one of the reasons why I put this scope on, or at least my excuse anyway, but my main excuse is I didn't have a big scope available, to be honest. But you've got choices here. This Picatinny rail is pretty much 11mm on the top, or you can use a 22mm. So it doesn't really matter if you're sort of struggling for mounts, you know, whatever size you've got will fit. So I just thought I'd put this scope on to demonstrate that you can actually bang an 11mm scope mount onto this rail, or if you wanted, bang a 22mm on there. So that is really good. That gives you options. That saves you going out buying more scope mounts. So that is really cool. That, I think, should be on more rifles. Real good feature. Really like that. And then turning the rifle over, if I can. I'm getting a sweat on here, guys. I'll get it the right way around so you can see it. Pressure gauge, yep. Me likey, in the right place. Not at the muzzle end. Obviously they can't do that with it being a buddy bottle rifle, but that is where I like to see pressure gauge. Out the way, in a safe place to look at. Absolutely brilliant, Hatsan. And then let's have a look at the other side. You've got the logo there, Hatsan's logo, Hercules. Everything about this rifle is just chunky and heavyweight. Really impressed with this. I know sometimes Hatsan have a few quality issues. I get that. You know, they're not sort of the Bentleys of air rifles. You know, it goes without saying they're not. But you've got to hand it to Hatsan. The stuff they're coming out with at the moment, well, the stuff that they've come out with over the years, they really aren't afraid to, you know, push the boundaries of as far as looks go with air rifles. You know, I mean, some people will look at this and just think, oh my God, that thing is ugly, but I kind of like it. I do kind of like it. It is so comfortable to shoot. The pistol grip, really comfortable. It's just the weight, you know, maybe Well, obviously it's going to increase, you know, the pennies side of it, but carbon fibre bottles, that would have reduced weight, you know, seriously. Maybe that's a job you could do. You could fit carbon fibre bottles to it. You know, that would really lighten the load as far as the weight of this rifle. But I like it. I like it with a nice, decent scope on this. Bipod on the front, because you will need that bipod. You're not going to be standing up shooting this, trust me, at freehand anyway. This thing is really, really impressive. And I'd love to get my hands on the 357 version, 45 version, even the 25 version. That'd be an interesting rifle to have a play with. But like I said, you've got to hand it to Hatsan. They definitely aren't afraid to, you know, get drunk, get their designers drunk and say, design me a rifle now. I'm only kidding there, but you know, they definitely have some interesting ideas, you know, without doubt. Now in the box, obviously you get all your bits and pieces, your filler, nozzle and whatnot, but you get a spare magazine, plenty of O-rings and stuff. So that's cool. Lots of spares in there. That's always it's always a good thing. You also get a spare cheap piece, I suppose it is, that goes on there. Why you're thrown in with a spare one there, I'm not quite sure. Don't know. Don't really get that. The manual, very impressed with the manual. Good job Hatsan on the manual. Be nice if it was in colour, but it is pretty good. Shows you and tells you everything you need to know. Gives you the specs there. That's what I was reading to you, and gives you all the muzzle velocities there. It doesn't give the UK ones though, but I'll throw them in the details of the video. I did chrono this, as you've seen at the start of the video, but it was just touching the yellow, so whether that made any difference, I don't know. But hey ho, it definitely packs a punch. But no, not a bad manual, Hatsan, not bad at all. So that is it then, guys. That is your rack and load review of this beast of a rifle that has absolutely worn me out doing this tabletop review. The Hatsan Hercules twin buddy bottle. So that's giving you 1,000 cc's of air to keep you going. Absolute beast of a rifle. Like I said, guys, I will throw in more details about this rifle in the details of the video, so do check that out. I'm still gathering a bit of data on this rifle as we speak, but like I said, wanted to throw this thing on the table, get it out there, because there's no reviews as yet on YouTube, so I wanted to sort of just jump in there with this. But anyway, guys, that is it. That is your rack and load review of the Hatsan Hercules. As ever, thanks for watching. Subscribe, check us out on Facebook, and I'll see you soon. That's Rack and Load. See ya.